We're live.
We are live. Okay, guys, we got a very special guest, Monica Matthews. I happened to meet her in an X live show, and she's a go-getter. She's putting together something that is going to compete with Netflix, and it's not going to be like rated R movies and rated X movies and like that. It's going to be mainly sports and talent and things like that. So I'm going to give you the floor and explain to the people what we have. And by the way, the movie's coming out great. We're doing a screening tonight at 6 p.m. sharp. It's going to be amazing. As a matter of fact, Monica, we'll invite you if you want to come see it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a little froggy in the throat today, but yeah, I'm Monica Matthews, founder and CEO of Thirst Entertainment Network. We are a startup out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we are preparing to disrupt the nearly $200 billion streaming industry. So, and yes, we are curating content. We're also an original series content curators. So we have Thirst Originals. We're doing feature films, episodics, docuseries, a little bit of a hybrid in that we're also doing podcasts, literary work, and music publishing. So we're a full stop shopping network, but mainly family centric material. So it's a lifestyle brand. It's anything that you can consume, anything you relate to. We call ourselves the relationship network, and that however you relate to yourself, to your creator, to your family, to your finances, to your health, your wealth, your environment, your country. Our motive is to take back our country, actually, and uniting people. So we're a nonpartisan news and entertainment outlet. We're also non-religious. We are here for all people. So we've set the table. We have invited the entire country. We are working diligently, curating talent as well. We've got some great talent on board. Our first docuseries is slated to begin production in Q4 of this year. And we'll be global by Q2 of 26.
Interesting. How did the idea come about? What led you to want to do this? You have a partner. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a co-founder, Adam B. Coleman. You can find Adam online. He's everywhere. Prolific author and speaker, also very level-headed gentleman. So, critical thinker. It doesn't really get caught up in the partisan politics of everything. So he's my co-founder. We have a phenomenal C-suite team. Crazy how God's put this whole thing together, to be honest with you. But about 2.5 years ago, close to 3 years ago, I just looked around at the climate of the country, understanding exactly how narrative warfare works, realized that my audience was more confused than ever, filled with rage, fear primarily, division, dissension. It was just bananas watching the Biden regime take the country. It really began many years before that in terms of narrative warfare tactics. So I decided, I polled my audience and I asked them what it was that they really wanted and what they needed in the way of truth tellers and content. And they said, we need people we can trust. And we're tired of being so divided. And to be honest with you, Mel, I realized that we have a nation filled with political and spiritual refugees. And so for us, that's who we're serving. And we're serving the homeless regarding parties. And we're serving, everyone, to be honest with you. But I just got really tired of seeing the silos. And I got tired of seeing the grift on the conservative side of the aisle, where people were just exploiting and taking others for granted, and the division in the country for granted, including fissures within MAGA itself. And those things came home to hit me directly. And I decided, I'm going to take it on head first. And here we are. And it's taken me about 2.5 years to assemble the team that I know can take us, through the race.
Awesome.
Wow.
Elisa, if you don't mind, do me a favor and send her the link to the Zoom. You got direct contact with her.
I'll send that to her. I wanted to just rant on what Monica, what you're saying, because, I watch a lot of shows, whatever. And I started watching the show. It's not, it's like a kid type young generation. It's called, I don't know if you saw The Summer I Became Pretty. I don't know if you've heard of this on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I literally was so pissed, but I had to keep watching it because I had to see where this whole thing go. the gender confusion that is going on this show, and for you guys who haven't seen it, because it's not geared for, you know, our age people, it is like, you know, they're kissing, guys are kissing guys, and then they're kissing girls, and then it's like, and then of course they have a they, right? That one of the characters is a they. When someone called her a she, it was a they. The rage that was going through me, because I'm thinking to myself, they're like 11, 12, 13-year-olds watching this show, and like they don't have enough confusion. And this, I think, was made in 2023, you know, and it is so appalling to me that it's like, and then of course the people on the show don't find it strange that this guy is, listen, I'm not making a comment on people, you know, do what you want, whatever you feel, what feels right to you, that's okay. But this idea that it's just a free for all and it's just anything and everything, and you know, if people think that the girl is okay, that he was just with a guy, I don't even know where to go with that.
I'm going to tell you this. If I was at a bar and somebody referred to themselves as they, I'd be out of there so fast. I mean, literally, I'd be like the Flash. I mean, it's like, that's just,
Mike, these are 15.
How nuts do you have to be?
Kids in the show are 15 and 16. It's not like people like us that were adults. People are acting like idiots. Yeah. That's fine. These are 15 and 16-year-olds that they are portraying in this manner. Okay, that there's no sense of
by the way,
kind of main road. It's just like everything, you know.
There are no genders, by the way. There are two sexes. There's no such thing as genders. There's two sexes. And the other thing too is, have you heard about this show Alien Earth too? Now that you're bringing it up, basically, here's what they got. They've got 12-year-olds put into robotic adult bodies. That's the story. So really, anything that takes place is like basically pedophilia. And I guarantee you, at some point, some of the characters are going to have sex or something with their adult robot bodies. And they're doing that just to try to pretend like, oh, this is okay. They're not, but they're 12-year-olds. They're 12-year-old boys and girls that they're trying to sexualize. And Monica, God, the world needs what you're going to produce. Can I write you some shows? You want me to write you some shows?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? We're looking for writers right now. And to be honest with you, one of the ladies that we're bringing on as an advisory role, senior advisory role, her name is Gabrielle Clark. She goes by Gabs on Twitter. She's very well known in the gender affirming circles, where she is anti-affirming. She has a curriculum called Affirming Reality. And so we are building an entire curriculum around affirming reality. And we're starting with 5th graders on up. So, and we are looking for content, original content written around affirming who you actually are as a created biological male or female. That's not, it's a lot like these shows where they get seduced and they're literally captured. Their brains are captured at those young ages. And by the time the parent figures out what's going on, because they've abdicated all authority in terms of what these kids are watching and all the social engineering going on with these platforms, we decided, well, if you guys are going to engineer for the destruction of humanity, then we're going to disrupt the industry and engineer for the proliferation.
Yeah, it's crazy because kids in those ages, they're very impressionable. And I know you hear that stupid thing and it seems really stupid. I remember in the set, impressionable youngsters, it sounded really cornball. But the reality is, look, I look back on it. If I could have gotten a tattoo when I was 17, I'd have a fucking Adam and the Ants tattoo on my shoulder. Right. I mean, it's like what you think is cool then is not what you grew up to become. So,
and when you say impressionable, it's not. It goes beyond that. They're not developed yet. They're still developing. They are confused. They aren't sure. And so they need to have a strong, even keel of what they're being told so that they can then find who they are.
Yeah, I mean, being adolescent.
Who they are. And
being adolescent is confusing enough, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I just want to add, children are naturally androgynous. I mean, I remember being a tomboy. I tricked people saying my name was Chris because I cut off all my hair, and the boys believed it. Didn't mean that I wanted to be a boy forever. And I think the natural androgyny that happens is a part of just knowing you have an inner masculine and feminine. They knew in this time of awakening that we would begin to awaken to our divine blueprint, that children were coming in very advanced and very aware of this integration of polarity that they want to capture, they want to weaponize in order to create confusion so that you mutilate your body instead of realizing that we have access to both masculine and feminine, but we can love the body that we're in. And after puberty, you really begin to feel into your gender. Like, I'm so glad I'm a woman, you know, but I was fine playing Tonka trucks as a kid. So
yeah, I agree with that. I remember the same thing.
Mel, I just want you to know I'm expressing a lot of self-control right now, Mel. I just want you to know that. I'm on your side, buddy.
Yeah,
I love the landman scene when he says she says, "Don't call me a lady," and he said, "Oh, did I get it wrong? I'm so sorry, sir."
Yeah, but Laura, you're right. And I mean, like I said, if look up Adam and the Ants and see how they dressed and say, there's that fine looking pretty boy thing that we had going in the 80s for a while.
So
right?
Monica, is your platform launched yet, or is it on the verge of launching? How far are we?
We are. So, oh goodness, we are still building out our rails. We're building our infrastructure right now. And we're just separating from a third party that we thought we were going to launch with. Instead, we've decided to build out our own rails initially from launch. So it set us back by probably 6 months, maybe hopefully shorter than that. But in the meantime, we're getting together our data room and we're preparing for our last founders round and all of those things. So yeah, we're heavy on the financing area of where we are right now, in our launch, and also curating talent, and finding creators who are of our same ethos, right? And a lot of those guys are not of our same, I'm a conservative, I'm a Christian, but this is not a conservative Christian network. It is simply rooted in really solid ethical principles. And so we're looking for people like that who are critical thinkers, who actually love their children, and we don't really care how you vote. And we want content, that is going to produce a healthy society. So we're focused on our content creators right now, as well as building out our infrastructure. So
the thing is too, Monica, is you don't even need a message. You really don't need to create programs specifically with a message. All you have to do is create a program that has regular, straight up gender role, like, a masculine hero and a feminine leading lady. Yeah. And expresses reality the way it really, that's all you have to do. They could be action movies, they could be sci-fi. I mean, just go back and watch the original Star Trek, right? And just write a hero like Captain Kirk and just tell a story. It doesn't even have to have a message. Simply the example of making it with normal male, female gender roles is just huge in of itself. It's like, oh, I can aspire to be this. I can aspire to be that guy. That's incredibly impactful,
Yeah, so, and even moreover, it's okay to be that guy. It's okay to be a guy, actually, and it's okay to be a normal guy. So and testosterone is not a bad thing.
And normal guys like girls and don't dance like the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders. Mel, did you get that one?
But I
thought it was the male cheerleader that everybody was so.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, they're sort of rebelling.
Let me ask you a question. When are you going to do the series? I need a 17-season series with 17 episodes to tell the story about the New World Order, the poisoning, the chemtrails. Is that going to be allowed on your network? Because I got a few people that are qualified to be able to write that kind of shit.
It depends how you're going to tell the story.
Well, it's got to be told truthfully.
If you're going to tell the story creatively, and you're going to tell the story from the perspective of it's compelling, right? It's not the same drone that we've been hearing from certain factions of the conservative movement for 6 years now. And it's people telling the same story with the same spooky music and the same scoring and all of that. But what I'd like to see happen is an extrapolation from what we know is happening, pick out segments of what's actually happening and create actual stories and drama and theater around that. because that is actually what penetrates everyone, as opposed to what has now been wrangled by the right as something, the right, the other right, that now it's known as far right conspiracy theories. Right. I just had to educate my audience yesterday in a 10-hour space I hosted, by the way, sick. And I said, you guys have got to quit using these terms interchangeably. You have conspiracies and you have theories, and you also have conspiracy theories, right? But most of what people think are just theories are actual conspiracies.
Yeah.
So if there's a way we can tell these stories in a creative way,
Monica, can I interject something in there? Because I think it's really important, and I think this permeates through the entire space. People speak as though they're with authority on things, and really what it comes down to is it's almost the opposite. I like to use the story, or I like to use the analogy of a 100-piece puzzle. And if you have a 100-piece puzzle and you say that when you put this puzzle together, you're going to see a picture of a beach in Hawaii. Now, you don't have the picture. You just know that you just believe that that's what's going to happen. So you start putting pieces together. You get about 30 of them put together, and you start to see what looks like a polar bear and a iceberg and a penguin. And you're like, I don't know what this picture is, but I know it's not a beach in Hawaii. And I think I think that's a more accurate way to describe the way that people like I and Mel and a lot of people here think. It's like we don't know what it is. We can't say with authority what it is, but we can say with authority what it is not.
Right. Well, given all the evidence coming out, I was one of the first media personalities to bring out, because I'm not a journalist, I'm a commentator. I'm not an investigative journalist. People send me material all the time. I'm like, it's not what I do, but I can pass it on to other people. But I had an HHS, you could call him a whistleblower, but he was very high ranking in the Trump administration, in the first administration with HHS and Office of Refugee Resettlement. And he blew the whistle on what was going on with the trafficking with HHS, and nobody wanted to hear it. Everybody immediately aligned it with the Q movement of, oh, they're eating small children under the Vatican. And, I'm thinking, well, actually, though, there are truthful components to all of the things that we're hearing, right? But the components in leaving people to their own imagination to figure out whether or not you're at the beach or you're in an igloo, to me, it's irresponsible. So if you're going to bring something this important and this crucial with a call to action, then to me, it's worth telling the story. But if you're just leaving people completely mortified in their living rooms about children being sodomized and raped as babies, and our government's paying for it, you just have a bunch of pissed off people who don't know what the hell to do. And so those, if we're going to tell stories, there needs to be a call to action. Also, hey, here's some hope. But I thought Angel Studios did a pretty good job of that with, who was that? Tim Ballard. I don't remember the name of the film, but that
Sound of Freedom.
Yes, thank you. It was so well done that you weren't defiled. You didn't feel like you had just been through a child rape yourself. It was implied. There were so many things that horrifically were implied, but you left there with this feeling of, I can't even believe this stuff is going on. What can I do? And then they gave you things to do. So I felt like it was empowering. And so if you're going to bring content like that, to mass audiences, partner with people who can actually move the ball down the field. I'd like to see some prosecutions come out of HHS, to be honest with you.
I'd like to see some prosecutions come out of a whole
lot. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, guys, should I tease the audience, like tease the living daylights out of them and show the first 4 or 5 minutes of the actual documentary? It's 10 times stronger. No, it's 100 times more powerful than the actual trailer by far.
Well, yeah, I'd love to hear. But Laura, didn't you have something to say a while back? You were going to jump in there.
I think it's kind of going backwards to what we were originally talking about. But I was just saying that, every generation has had its form of programming, but the next generation is to look like it's rebelling against the generation before. And I just wanted to mention that, because not everybody's going to fit into that cookie cutter of our generation, even though there was a lot of in the music industry eccentricity and androgyny. But there were other programmings that they act like the next generation is rebelling from. That's why it's become trendy instead of dangerous. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real qualitative difference between David Bowie and Elton John in the 70s, and then the Sex Pistols when they came along in the mid 70s. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a different look there. Kind of a different look.
Just a little.
Should we tease the audience, guys?
Yes,
Sure.
definitely.
Yes. So far, we're up to 1 hour and 24 minutes and 32 seconds. By the time it's done, it's probably going to be an hour and 35 minutes. I'm waiting for Trennis Evans. I talked to him on the phone for an hour and 22 minutes just the other day. He's been hired by the Trump administration to fight censorship exactly at the same time my movie's coming out. I mean, him and I are like two peas in a pod, you know? But anyway, here it is, guys. Let's see. Can you tell me if you could hear it? Give me a thumbs up, all right?
One wrong move and your entire channel could be demonetized, deleted, or you could even get sued.
I had a client who got 3 strikes and he lost his channel. He doesn't even really want his channel back. He just wants his videos back.
Kept getting blocked videos. I would spend a lot of time working on a reaction or working on like a breakdown video, and then I would put it out there and it would get blocked, and then I'm just kind of screwed. I just can't do anything with it.
My fellow Christian warriors, set yourselves apart from this corrupt generation. Be saints. That is the freedom that I wish for you. Freedom from sin. Freedom from our weaknesses. Freedom from the slavery that sin makes out of all of us. That is the freedom that is worth dying for. Kind of reminds me of the words that Mel Gibson first intoned in his Academy Award-winning film Braveheart, when he said to his ragtag army, and I say to you tonight, I see before me a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men, and free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? No! Yeah, fight, you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. Dying in your beds many years from now, would you have been willing to trade all the years from this day to that for one chance? Just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that you can take our lives, you can never take our freedom. Every man dies. Not every man truly lives. You, we must fight for that authentic freedom and live, my friends. By God we must live, and with the Holy Spirit as your shield and Christ as your sword, may you join Saint Michael and all the angels in defending God in sending Lucifer and his henchmen straight right back to hell where they
I'm gonna stop it right there. I can't tease you too much. You know? But what'd you think?
Oh my God, I love seeing Schwab and Charles in those outfits.
What's that?
Charles, was that Prince Charles and Schwab right there, right?
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. What did you think, Lisa? I mean, it's a very different documentary than what you saw a month ago.
Oh my God, I know. I love the beginning. I love the beginning, the way you start off about everything, giving kind of the backstory. I can't wait till 6 o'clock.
Oh, fasten your seatbelt. That's all I can say. I'm telling you, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I know a lot of people have to jump off, but Mel, do you want to show? There are a couple of videos you want to show so we could.
Exit out of this. Okay, I don't have access to the videos. I believe you do, right?
Yeah, me and Mike do. So,
okay.
Do you want to start with anything?
Like the intro of that?
What's that, bud?
Did you like the intro?
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Ron?
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know if I liked it as much as the Braveheart thing. That resonates with me very much so.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. For obvious reasons.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock tonight Eastern, we're going to show. There's going to be probably a dozen people showing up.
Where? How do you access?
Actually, Monica didn't know.
At least I can send you the link. At least I can send you the link.
Sorry, Monica didn't know. I'm actually related to Braveheart.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. My mother's mother is Wallace, and her grandfather, many generations removed, was William's brother.
Wow. Now that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was good stuff, Mel. Looks great.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's going to be a masterpiece. If it doesn't go wild, if it doesn't go hyper viral times 100 million, I will eat my shorts on live television. Seriously. And if it doesn't go wild, it's two reasons: algorithms and the Patriots aren't doing their job. Because if we all stand up and say, no, this movie's getting out, nothing can stop what's coming.
How are you premiering or screening?
We're doing a few independent movie theaters. We got a bunch of scalar wave technology centers that are about 28 of them that are showing the movie. We got a couple of independent groups like Jim Gale, who's inviting 60 people 2 days in a row to watch it outdoors. It's going to be pretty wild.
That's great. Congrats. Yeah. Excuse me. I look forward to seeing it. I have the link, I think.
We're still working on a few private movie theaters as well. That might,
we can't get the press release out there because we're not allowed to, because of, we're being censored on all fronts. So every time we put out a press release, they give our money back, saying, no, we can't do this content. Why can't you do the content? No, they don't give you an explanation. It's ridiculous. It really is. But
and these are the press wires. These are the wires that send it out to whatever it is, 50, 100 different sites. Mm-hmm. And they make you go through this is what angered me. Me and Amber were on there for almost 2 hours, signing up, putting the information, paying. You get all the way to the end. You upload, your press release, you get it all ready. And then they say, oh, do you agree to the terms? Yeah, I agree to the terms. What are the terms? Nothing. Remember, Mel, it's like nothing political, nothing with health products, nothing with tobacco, nothing. What's left?
Wow.
Like Kardashians, what's left?
Wow. That's pretty remarkable. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, we've hit a lot of brick walls on that front. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I think that the best idea we have right now is to get as many podcasters to contact us. I know everybody who's in the movie is going to rebroadcast to the audience, to their audience live the very first day it gets launched, which is September 9th. So hopefully we'll get hundreds and hundreds of, hopefully thousands of podcasters just broadcast. It will just play over and over and over again. So when it's over, it plays over again. You're feeding off of our stream into potentially hundreds of channels, hopefully thousands of channels.
And the paradox is that my channels are all censored, so I don't have a big audience to stream it on, but oh well.
But it doesn't matter. Hey, every little bit helps. We got small channels, big channels, medium-sized channels. We got them all shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we all stand together on that day and say, boom, we're going live.
Yeah.
Are you presenting on Rumble as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. So,
Mike, I'm going to ask you if you could maybe do it because my dog keeps barking. I keep having to mute, and I don't want that to be if we get it. I don't know.
What about going on Nino? I'm sure you're friends with David Rodriguez, but we still do co-hosting together. That's a big channel.
Well, Nino gave me after weeks of wrestling him, and I am the champion. Okay, I arm wrestled him and I won. Okay. Yeah. And
I'm sure you didn't fist fight him, though.
No, I'm not going to fist fight him. But needless to say, I did get a piece out of him. But trying to get him to get me on his show, I don't think he understands the importance of this. I really don't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk to him anyway.
Talk to him. See what you can do. Maybe I'll invite him to the screening tonight. Who knows? Maybe he'll show up.
I have a list of podcasters who might be interested in helping you get the word out.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, and they have big audiences. I try to encourage my fellow conservative podcasters to come together as more of a syndicate after right around 2021. And that's whenever it was right before Elon opened up, Twitter again for business, and he started monetizing people, and that incentivization on that end, it just incentivized people to go completely ISO. So that was another reason why I just got tired of doing everything by myself and decided to build my own network of people who like to work as a team. Yeah.
I don't blame you. So, that's exactly what it's going to come down to. But anyway, I think I can figure out how to share from my end here. So let's go ahead and watch a couple of these videos. I want to get the reaction from the audience. Now I want to get the reaction from our panel as well. So here we go. You guys can see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Flying those B-2 stealth bombers over Putin's head that may have been the strongest flex of all time. There's flexing on people with Lamborghinis, houses, women, watches, money, you name it. But you fly a B-2 stealth bomber over the head of Putin, and he goes like, you may hate Donald. A lot of people do. But he's a showman, and this is what showmen do. A B-2 stealth bomber over your enemy's head. You want to talk peace, huh? Look at Putin's head. He's still looking up. Trump's like, yeah, come on, let's go up. Let's go up. And Putin's like, you got me there, bro. Look at bro's head. I'm sorry, I've been paying attention. He knew it too. That's the strongest flex in the history of the world. It is. Donald Trump.
No question about it. No question about it. What do you guys think of that little flex move?
I don't think it was a flex move. I think it was I actually think it was like, hey man, you know what? Let's work together, and this is what I got going for me, and let's
let's work together, or I'll drop one of these suckers on you. Yeah, that's what it was.
The very last thing in the world Trump wants to do is to have a war with Russia.
Right. And I really think the two of them are actually working together against the deep state, as has been rumored by people who actually can read the tea leaves and see what's going on. But it was simply it's a display of prowess. It's a little dick wagging, your guys are in the locker room, and you're gonna fight it out a little bit. You're gonna arm wrestle. You're gonna show the other guy who's boss, right? Who's the alpha male here? And there's a little bit of that, but I think a lot of it is this show.
It's understanding your audience. I mean, look at what he did when he went to North Korea, or when he met with Kim Jong-un, and he had that whole freaking long ass presentation about look, we could convert your beaches into like these resorts, and you can have all this money coming in from tourism and all that other stuff. So it's about knowing your audience. And I guarantee you one thing that Putin appreciates is strength. And flying 5 stealth aircraft over them is definitely a show of strength.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I need to go. It's past my time. Monica, I followed you on X. If you would be kind enough to reciprocate.
Of course.
It was great to meet you. I'm sorry I got to run, guys, but everybody have a fantastic day, and I'll try to get back here next Monday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Alrighty.
All right, let's go to the next video, guys. Okay.
Is that you, Monica Matthews, on air? Is that you?
Yes, Monica on Air Talk. Yeah.
I'll follow you too.
Excellent.
Right.
Thank you.
She's friends with my mom.
Right. Small world. It's crazy. How many Eisenhowers are there? Come on.
Not many left.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next one here. You know, the United States is poised to become crypto capital of the world. Now we are attracting talent to come to the United States instead of detracting them and then wanting to go to Singapore, Japan, and so on. So here we go.
And now today, you have another historic legislative achievement that is a monumental step to fulfilling your promise to making the United States a crypto capital of the world. This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally, by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use. And for every digital dollar in a crypto wallet, there'll be a traditional dollar in a U.S. bank account, which will create trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries. So that is the power of this bill, is U.S. dollar dominance.
The crypto czar of the United States, this guy right here, David Sachs, just confirmed that the digital dollar is coming, and it will be using cryptocurrencies like XRP. Because, for example, in this report right here from the Department of Homeland Security here in the United States, they officially say how peer-to-peer payment systems like Ripple will be used to access the US digital dollar instead of other protocols and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. David Sachs, the crypto czar of the United States, is telling you that the digital dollar is coming and will be powered by crypto technologies. Yes, Ripple has collaborated with the U.S. Federal Reserve, as you can tell right here, to update the U.S. domestic payment system. The Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, collaborated with Ripple to connect its domestic payment system together. This digital dollar that's coming will be digital. It'll be powered by cryptocurrencies, but it will also have to be cross-border. The digital dollar will have to connect to the digital pound, the digital euro. They will all be connected with one another through cryptocurrencies. Like Ripple's technology will connect all of them together. XRP will be used. Other cryptocurrencies as well, like SLM, HBAR, QNT, they are all going to be used on the back end to power these digital currencies. Right now, if you hold any one of these cryptocurrencies, XRP, SLM, QNT, or HBAR, smash a like button. Let's get 2, 3, 5,000 likes. The digital.
I mean, you get the picture, man. You know, look, at the end of the day, and people call me to say, Mel, XRP's $2.89. Buy more. You know, just keep buying. Don't worry about the prices of distraction. I keep telling them that. They don't listen. You know, look, this is the biggest transfer of wealth. They know that XRP is going to be a monster. They're going to do everything in their power to deflect you, to get you looking at the shiny object that's $117,000 that does all nothing. A store value is a bullshit story. It's still 3 transactions per minute. We can't go into this new world that wants to move $100 quadrillion a year with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an object failure. If you guys out there, all you Bitcoin Nancy's, had any common sense, they should really stop calling it common sense. They should call it good sense, because if it was common, everybody would have it. Right. There's nothing common about common sense. It's either good sense, either have it or you don't. Some of us have a lot of it. But anyway, long story short, they should just sell their Bitcoin like a lot of the people that listen to me. Not that I'm a financial advisor, but you're crazy not to listen to me, because I told people, sell your Bitcoin, put it into XRP when it's $52,000, right? XRP was 39 cents. XRP goes to 365, and they say, thank you, I understand now. I 8 times my money. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say XRP or Bitcoin is a failure, Mel. If you're holding some of it and you bought it at, fractions of a penny, it's not exactly a bad deal. But yeah, it's probably time to pivot to something that's a more effective technology. XRP, by the way, is 306 right now, which isn't horrible. So, but yeah, if I had a 20 Bitcoin, I'd certainly sell 5 or 6 of them and roll it over into XRP and XLM. Sure.
Hey, what happened this week with Bitcoin no longer being considered as the as reserve currency? Anyone catch that?
Well, the only thing I got is that not about that. It was the biggest news that I thought I got was that Elon supposedly had decided to link up with Ripple for his X payment system because he's going to do, he's going to replace PayPal. So that I thought was real significant. It's just a rumor at this point, but we all know it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, I've been.
I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that.
Excuse me. Yeah, I saw a lot of Bitcoin maxis flipping out online about they were lied to about by the White House regarding the reserve currency was going to be Bitcoin. Now apparently the White House has backpedaled on that.
Well, isn't that really all Bitcoin is, Mel? It's just a store of value, right? It doesn't do anything.
Hey, yeah, okay, that's a great argument until everybody decides to call in on that store value and cash in. If everybody tomorrow morning at 9:00 they synchronize their watch and they all call in on the Bitcoin goes to zero, like that. Because it has no intrinsic value. If the same thing happens to XRP might be 5 zeros and a number, but because it's got intrinsic value, it solves a problem. It solves many problems. You could build other tokens on it. You could build other chains on it. It doesn't go away.
Do you think liquidity is what's holding us back right now? We just keep toggling between this godforsaken 3-something and change.
Liquidity is holding everything back, not just cryptos. But everything's in place to release the liquidity. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I don't even look at my Uphold account anymore. I'm like, screw it. I turned off my notifications. I'm like, you're giving me gray hair at this point. I can't do it.
Yeah, liquidity is one of the problems, but see, when BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all these big companies move in and they're moving all the money on earth, and we're talking quadrillions of dollars per month probably, you're not going to move that with a $3.06 token. We know that. XRP is the one that can be scalable to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. They don't even need to go there. They can go to 1 billion transactions per second, and we can handle the entire planet. That's already been proven. So the other thing that needs to happen is the banks have to stop with this Mexican standoff of the central bank digital currencies. You're not going to get your central bank digital currency. You're not. Just go to sleep. Come to grips with reality. It's not going to happen. Why do I need a central bank digital currency, Monica? If I could pay you directly to your wallet, do I need a central bank digital currency? I can send the money to your wallet. I'm my own bank.
Right.
I don't need
I'm hoping that we'll actually be allowed to hold our own wallets. I keep hearing more and more rhetoric around, retail is just going to be completely priced out of anything XRP. You want to be able to find it. And then we won't be able to hold our own coins, which is a little disturbing to me because I'm not interested in holding them institutionally at this point.
Exactly. Now, this is the reason why I love, RFK is because I want to get to my wealth, but I want to be healthy. I want to be able to enjoy my wealth, and he represents health to me. So hopefully this guy will do something monumental here in the next 4 years and see if we can turn it around.
There's a chemical now, the second most used chemical in this country, pesticide in this country, is atrazine. It's banned in Europe, banned all over the world, but we use it here. It's in 63% of our drinking water. There's a famous African-American scientist named Tyler Hayes, who's at the University of Berkeley. He did a famous experiment that anybody can look up on the internet. He put 70 African water frogs in an aquarium. He put atrazine in the water of that aquarium that was less than EPA's level. So it's less than the levels we have in 63% of our water supply. 60 of those frogs became sterile. They're all male frogs. 60 became sterile. 10% of those frogs turned female, and they were able to produce fertile eggs. So it changed their sex. And of course, normally, when you see something like that in an animal model, the first thing you want to do is test it in a mammalian model and a human model. Those tests were never done.
Yeah. I think Alex Jones said that about 25 years ago. And everybody
So our water's turning us into bitches? Is that what you're saying?
So I have a lot to
Who
say
drinks
about
water
this
anymore?
Sorry.
from the tap, though?
because I heard
Sorry,
this.
couldn't
I
help.
heard about Astrazine a number of years ago. And at that time, my kids, I was sending them to school with water bottles, and then we got right off that, and I changed them to where we were using different water and not, sorry about the dog, and not in plastic bottles. But here's the thing. If you look at men, okay, going back a couple of decades ago, 3-4 decades ago, and you look at men today, they don't look the same.
No,
They
and it makes a lot of sense here, Elisa, because the ongoing feminization of the American male is a critical thing to conquering this country. Because the Marlboro man, you ain't gonna conquer him. I mean, again, you go back to the Star Trek example. Look at how masculine guys were. You got all these guys. Oh, look at the Apollo 11 astronauts. They're so serious and quiet at their press conference. They must have faked the moon landing. No, they were just stoic, masculine guys who didn't, cry and whine and talk about how beautiful it was to be on the moon. So you look at the men then and you look at the men now, and we look younger, we feel younger, but we're less masculine than we used to be. Our muscles are smaller. It's just amazing, and it's like something's been feminizing us. Maybe it's been the water all along.
Yeah, look at like guys like I remember in high school, right? The guys were taller, they were bigger, they were hairier. I mean, you look at the guys today. I look at my kids' friends in high school. They're smaller. That's not an accident, okay, that happened. And it's very disturbing.
But the thing is, I mean, we shouldn't be drinking tap water. There's fluoride. They put all sorts of things. This is the best way to get at us. And I think a lot of parents are pulling their kids out, living more in homestead communities or off the grid and just homeschooling. I mean, I have a 6'6" son and a 6'4" son, so they somehow missed all that. It's the food, the GMOs, it's everything.
100%.
If we don't abandon it, we're going to be assaulted by it. And of course, we have to speak up because those that don't know are going to continue to consume.
But let me just say my own opinion. This is my opinion. I think this stuff has already been taken out. I think a lot of what we're getting in the disclosure is just how bad it was that was unbeknownst to everyone, most of us anyway. And so now they're coming out with this. But, if you go back a few years, they're blowing up the food plants. All these animals are dying. It's not an accident. I think a lot of these things. So now, RFK is saying we're taking the fluoride out of the water. I think a lot of these initiatives have started or have stopped. We're not getting that anymore. But this is why this generation, that we're looking at now, this is how they were raised. And then, of course, the whole water thing, they tell us to have all this water. We don't need all that water. It's not healthy for us. You're killing your body. And so they told us we had to drink all this water, and then everybody goes out and gets bottled water. And then that's how it happens. And you send your kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
And there's a video out there that says that you're washing your minerals away.
The skies are still being sprayed, which is a part of what rains down on the crops, and it's you can't escape what they're.
That's how you get it in the reservoirs. Yeah.
Sorry, Mel, go ahead.
Yeah, and no, I'm just saying that there's a video out there that I have probably somewhere in my bookmarks on X, where it says if you drink too much water, you're depleting your minerals. You're pissing your minerals away.
Yes.
It's not healthy for you, like they want you to believe. So
everything they tell us, a day. Give me a break. None of us grew up like that. None of us had all this water that we were drinking. You got to hydrate. Okay, yes, if you're playing sports, obviously you're sweating a lot, but on a daily basis, what are we doing that we need so much?
You don't have to drink a whole bunch of water. You can have electrolytes. You can have one glass of water that is done right with minerals instead of a whole bunch all day, right?
Exactly.
Just one good cup of Gatorade with vodka. Your day is set.
Well, Kenneth was saying that his water bottle has gin in it. I'm like, I like Kenneth.
Yeah. All right, let's play this little video. Here we go.
August 18th is going to be historic. Trillions of dollars are going to be pouring in. Institutional capital is going to be pouring into XRP, everybody. Yes.
Turn it up a little.
XRP. You heard me. How many of you are still holding? Love the speech, President Trump. Listen.
Seen people quitting. And if they would have held out longer, they would have been successful. I've seen it so much. I've seen some of the most brilliant people in the world that never made it because they were quitters. They were just quitters. They would quit. They just couldn't take it. They couldn't, whatever.
And let's talk about Eric Trump. Do you guys know what he's saying here in this picture that he put on X about Delta? I think I kind of do. There's a few little things I think is going on with Delta, but I do know that Delta is going to start taking XRP. And speaking of Eric Trump, this morning they're going to be ringing the bell at NASDAQ, him and his brother, Trump Jr. This is going to be big, huge, guys. And President Trump might be with his sons. This is huge, guys. This is huge. This is alt season.
World Liberty.
Be ready, and I hope you're prepared because this is exciting. I hope you're holding. I hope you're still believing because we're actually in the midst of it now. We're in the midst. It's here. It's here. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.
World Liberty Finance. You know, Amber and I don't give each other chocolates anymore or gifts. We just buy each other digital assets. It's like, it's your birthday, digital assets. It's Valentine's Day, which is also our anniversary, digital assets. We just do digital assets. And they don't give you any cavities.
Yeah.
You know, she's awesome. I follow that lady often. She's amazing. So anyway, we're coming close to the hour here. I think we're going to cut it maybe a little short today. Monica, please come back and see us again. And if you'd like to maybe join us as one of our, you know, sort of like
semi-regulars,
spare tires on the front. Somebody can't make it.
Special guest star, Monica Matthews, right?
I'd be honored. I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be
you guys
great.
are great. Good conversation.
Anything else? I can't wait to show you guys the movie. I just want to grab a little bit of Z's. I went to go get my vitamin drip today because I know that they're trying to kill us, and you can't kill Mel Carmine. Mel Carmine is mortal. You know what I mean? So anyway,
he's like a human cockroach, guys. Can't kill Mel Carmine.
Yeah. So
he eats the Mel Carmine poison.
We're going to reconvene at 6 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do a private screening of the movie, which is 96% completed. Just minor tweaks. Gary Frenchie from the Next News Network is on board with us. That's huge. Thank you, Michelle, to his handler. We've been going back and forth. And, you know, some of these guys are huge. It's very difficult to get through all their gatekeepers. It's very, very difficult. I tried to get Economic Ninja. You know, Dylan's not going to let me through. You know, he's made a stance like, hey, I'm powerful, I'm big and mighty. Okay, buddy. The next time I see you, I'm not buying you a drink. Right?
Right.
But anyway, I had fun. I have a little bit of a headache, so I want to call it early, and I will see you guys in about an hour.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.